If you've ever been to New York, you've probably heard of the Levain bakery and their famous 6-ounce chocolate chip walnut cookies. These are giant cookies and they're crispy on the outside and they're super gooey on the inside. And I hear that people come from all around, like all over the world, just to get their cookies. And I just saw pictures of them and I really wanted to make them. So I'm super excited because they're gonna be so good. So I have to say something before I start making these. The Levain bakery has not released an official chocolate chip walnut recipe because it's kind of like a secret to how they make their cookies so awesome. But many people have tried to replicate the original cookie, and I went through tons of recipes and I did a lot of research. And I looked at a lot of recipes because there's a lot of recipes. And I found one that is very close because they actually have a video of them making it and like how they make it. They just don't show exact amounts. So although this is not the official Levain bakery chocolate chip walnut cookie recipe, I'm hoping these are going to turn out just as delicious. I got this recipe from A Bountiful Kitchen, so thank you so much for testing this recipe out so that I can make them at home. So I'm going to start in the bowl of my stand mixer, or you can use a hand mixer, and I'm gonna beat 1 cup of butter. And it shouldn't be soft or melted, just pull it out of the fridge and you can beat it like that. You don't have to like chill it beforehand or melt it or anything, just as is. So I'm beating my butter, and once it gets a little smoother, then I'm gonna add in 1/2 cup of white sugar. Ooh, I love watching that fall. And 3/4 cup of light brown sugar. Oh, okay, there, it came out. Fun fact, a ramekin holds exactly 3/4 cup. Okay, and then I'm just going to slowly mix that in. And now with the mixer on low, I'm gonna add in 2 eggs, 1 at a time. Another thing that's really interesting about this recipe is that they don't add any vanilla extract, which I thought was crazy at first, but they said that they tested it both ways and that they couldn't taste the difference. So after you finish mixing together all of your wet ingredients, come over here to a separate bowl. I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour and 1 cup of cake flour, or you can make your own at home by removing 2 tablespoons of flour and adding 2 tablespoons of cornstarch per cup of flour. And so I'm gonna pour that in. I'm not really sure if cake flour is necessary, but people say that it's why their cookies are so fluffy. And then I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm going to stir that all together. Don't forget to drop a ton of your flour. Okay, once you mix together all of your dry ingredients really well, we're going to add it to the stand mixer. But before you add it, make sure that you scrape down the bottom of your sides, the bottom and the sides of your bowl. That way that it all gets fully mixed in, and then you can just give it a mix right after you scrape it down to mix it all together one last time. Okay, and once that's all good, I'm going to pour all of my dry ingredients into my mixer. I think that's the first time I've ever done it without spilling something. In the video of them making them, they said that when you're first adding your dry ingredients to just pulse the flour in so that it doesn't fly up everywhere at your face, and then you can mix it in. And after you mix in all your flour, you can add in 2 cups of walnuts. Now these walnuts are not chopped. I mean, like, the bag I got them in was halves and whole walnuts. So you can just leave them like that. Don't chop up your walnuts. It's better for them to be big and chunky. And then after you mix in the walnuts, add in 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And I'm using semi-sweet because that's the type of chocolate that they said that they use to make the cookies. Wow, this looks super chocolatey. Okay, I'm gonna take it off of my stand mixer now because It's a lot of cookie dough. It's a lot of work for my poor Sir Whiskington. Getting beat up by this cookie dough. I'm gonna take this off my stand mixer and mix it around one last time just to make sure that all the chocolate chips are evenly distributed. We want every cookie to have an equal amount of chocolate chips. When you finish mixing everything together, you should have a very wet and sticky dough, and it's probably also going to be very chunky with all the chocolate chips and walnuts, but that's okay. And now it's time to measure out the cookies. So these cookies are very special because they're each 6 ounces, which is like really giant. It's like, what, 5 times the size of a normal cookie. So I'm going to turn on my scale and just grab some cookie dough. You want to form these with your hands instead of a cookie scoop because they're supposed to be roughly shaped, not like, don't use a cookie scoop because it condenses it and then it gives it those smooth edges. But this cookie, you're going for a more rustic look with those rough edges. So you can just see that's 4.7, add a little more. That's 5.6. That's way too much, okay. Also, make sure you wash your hands before you do this step because you're gonna be handling the cookie dough a lot. Okay, so here's my first cookie dough ball. You can see it's not very pretty, you know? It's got all those rough edges. It's got like lines and cracks, and that's perfect. That's exactly how you want it. So don't like try and shape it or mold it or press down on it. Don't press down on it at all. Then just put it in the pan that you're going to chill them in. If you don't have a scale, I just measured out the cookie dough and it's about 3/4 of a cup. So you can just use a 3/4 cup to measure the cookie dough, and it should be about the same amount as 6 ounces. But just make sure that when you're measuring it, you don't try and pack it in. It should be just lightly measured out. Oh my gosh. Okay, is it just me or is it like really hard not to shape these? And like, I really want to fix it, but I know I shouldn't. I just gotta leave it. All of its imperfections are what's going to make it so tasty. And you can keep shaping the rest of your cookies, or if you don't want giant 6-ounce cookies, you can make smaller cookies and just do the same thing. Okay, I'm done measuring out all of my cookie dough balls. This made 7 giant cookies and 1 small cookie. But really, it's just like, it's still bigger than a normal cookie, but it's not 6 ounces. So now I'm going to cover them with plastic wrap, and I'm gonna stick them in the fridge to chill for at least an hour. Or you can just let them stay in the fridge until whenever you're ready to bake them. Make sure it's nice and tight. And now I'm gonna stick these in the fridge. All right, I'm back. My cookies have been in the fridge chilling for, oh wow. They've been in the fridge chilling for 2.5 hours, and now I'm finally ready to bake them. I'm so excited. These are giant and they look really good. I'm only gonna put 4 on a pan at a time because I don't wanna squish them together, you know, because they're really big, and so they're gonna spread out a lot. And remember, don't press down on them or reshape them or do anything to them right now, because if you leave them like this, then it's gonna give you that crispy, beautiful golden outside and the gooey center. So you want them like this. And now I'm going to bake them. My oven is preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm gonna bake these for about 9 minutes. You'll be able to tell that they're done because the bottom and the top will be like golden and kind of crispy, but you don't want to put them in there too long because then the middle will get fully cooked, and they're supposed to say gooey on the inside, so make sure that you don't overcook them. Overbake them. Make sure you don't overbake them. Wow. Also, one more thing. They won't look done when they come out. They're gonna look not done, but as they cool on the pan, they will start to be done. And yeah, you just don't want to cook them too long, okay? Just don't. When you think they need 1 more minute, take them out. And that's my oven. Okay. It's been 10 minutes, and this is what they look like when they are straight out of the oven. They still look very gooey right there, but the bottoms are getting brown, so I just went ahead and took them out. And now this part is very important. After you take them out of the oven, you have to let them cool for about 15 minutes on the baking sheet before you eat them, because it'll help it finish cooking. Okay, and we're back. I'm finally ready to eat one. Oh, these just look so pretty. This is just the way I pictured them. And now it's time for the real test. So I'm gonna break one in half. Let's see, does it pass the gooiness test? Oh my goodness, that is so gooey. Wow, just wow. That is extremely gooey. And see, it's like crispy there. That is incredible. Okay, this is a giant cookie. I don't think I'm gonna be able to eat it all. All right. And the taste test, which it will probably pass. Wow. Wow, that's really gooey. Okay, this is a gooey and a crispy piece, so you can get it all in one bite. I'm gonna try it now. Mmm. Wow, that is so good. Like, honestly, when I saw this, I was like a little grossed out because it's so mushy, but it's perfect in its own way, and the crispiness on the outside just balances it all out, so it doesn't bother me at all. It's incredible. It's so good. Mmm. And it's so chocolatey. You have to bake these and try them. If you like crispy outsides and gooey insides, this is like the ultimate cookie.
This is one happy baker.
It was good.
Success.
You can tell that I enjoy what I'm eating when I'm silent, because that means I'm eating it and not talking. Mmm. Well, thank you so much for baking with me today. Let me know if you ever make Levain bakery style cookies, and I'll see you next time on You're Stirring It Wrong. If you've ever been to New York, you've probably heard of the I can't say it. Why can't I say it? Levain. It's because it's Levain. But many people have tried to replicate, but many that is very close, because Mom, no. Lily, do you want to say hi? Do you like cookies, Lily? You can't have any cookies. Half price? You coming? Say hi. Lily, the princess.
Hey, Lily.
Hi. Hi, doggies. Aw, they love helping me bake. Say cheese, half price. Cheese. I have no idea what this looks like.
Aha! You did it!